Next time you're at the gym, gasping for air and staring at the timer on your treadmill. Just remember one thing. You are literally performing a 19th century torture method. No, that's not a joke or some catchy exaggeration. The treadmill wasn't invented to help you lose weight, tone your glutes, or train for a marathon. It was designed to break the spirits of the most hardened criminals in England. It was a tool of hard labor meant to be so grueling and so mind-numbingly boring that prisoners would never want to commit a crime again. So, how did a device meant for punishment end up in every luxury hotel and fitness center on Earth? Let's break it down. Welcome to the Smart Side. The story starts in 1818 with an English engineer named Sir William Cubitt. Back then, British prisons were a total mess. Inmates were often left sitting in dark, crowded cells doing absolutely nothing. Social reformers thought this was a waste. They believed that if a person was in prison, they should be working, and that work should be hard. Cubitt wanted to give them a task that was productive, grueling, and most importantly miserable. He called his invention the treadwheel. It was a giant wooden rotating cylinder with 24 steps on the outside, looking like a massive water wheel from a steamboat. Prisoners would stand on these steps and climb as the wheel turned. Cubitt installed wooden partitions between each person to prevent them from talking. You were stuck in a tiny wooden box, staring at a blank wall, climbing a staircase that never ended. You couldn't stop. The workload was insane. Prisoners were often forced to stay on the wheel for 6 to 8 hours a day. On average, they were climbing 10,000 feet every single day. That's like climbing halfway up Mount Everest every morning. The energy they generated was used to grind grain or pump water. This is where we get the name treadmill. You were treading to power a mill. It worked too well. Prisoners became so exhausted and malnourished that many suffered permanent injuries or simply collapsed from heat stroke. By the late 1800s, the treadmill was finally banned in Britain for being extraordinarily cruel. It was too brutal for even the toughest criminals. Interestingly, before humans used them for fitness, animals took over. In the early 1900s, dog power machines were common on farms. In the 1920s, doctors started experimenting with exercise machines. If you look at photos, the machines look like medieval torture racks. The real shift happened in 1968. Dr. Kenneth Cooper published a book called Aerobics, pushing the idea that running could prevent heart disease. Engineer Bill Stobe took the basic mechanics of that 1800s torture device, added an electric motor, and marketed it for the home. We went from being forced to run in a prison cell to paying monthly memberships for the privilege of doing the exact same thing. So, the next time you feel like the treadmill is killing you, you're not being dramatic. History is on your side. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button and subscribe to the Smart Side. See you in the next one.